Welcome back to watching Business Incorporated here on Channels Television, and let's have a conversation now about opportunities for product and motion designers in the ICT, AI, technology space. And we're having this conversation with a motion designer, Onyololuwa Adedoyin, joining us from our Abuja studio. Hi, Onyololuwa. Good afternoon and welcome to the program.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you.
So, I mean, DeepSeek is still in the news. AI seems to be leading conversations everywhere. But for individuals like motion designers, what is there? What are the opportunities for you in all of these conversations?
All right, thank you so much for that question. So, I would like to say that, the way people really consume information has changed over time, right? There was a time where everything we used to see about communication and technology is how things are being printed and put around, right? But nowadays, things have evolved now to we now using, devices, and everybody has like a TV, a laptop, and these are like the little ways in which product design, motion design has been able to come into technology, right? We've seen how things have evolved over time in the tech ecosystem, right? How people have been able to use tools to not only communicate, to also innovate things that are already been in the system before. So there are like wild opportunities for product design and motion design for anybody that is looking to get started as a Nigerian and as an African, right? Thank you.
Getting started should be a very big deal, because of the requirement, software, hardware, funding, and all of that. How does somebody even begin?
Yeah, so over time, getting started has become much easier now because there are like places and resources all over the internet where people can, get started with little or no resources, right? There are platforms where you can get courses for as low as 5,000 naira in product design, right? And what you just need to do is to commit to learning, devote and committing to learning this skill, right? So it is not as difficult to get started. I mean, the only tool that I would say you probably need is like your computer and your dedication to, spending time on it. Because the more you spend time into learning, the quicker it is for you to pick up this skill and make it as a monetization tool or as your own personal creative tool, right? So
I guess you must first of all have interests, yeah?
Yeah, you need to have interest. That's very important.
So looking at the world of technology, innovation, fintechs taking over, what specifically are those opportunities for investments, for jobs that are available looking at the Nigerian, typical scene, not what's going on outside the country?
Not on the global. Oh, yeah. So the opportunity in product design and motion design is wild, right? It's very wild. So previously, when we'd go on websites, right, it is very basic. There's nothing to really hold you back. But with the new skilled people as Nigerian that we have like a lot of beautiful product designers. We've been able to do things and make user experience very, very easy for everybody, even to people that use like the low-end devices, which we know that a lot of populations of Nigeria use low-end devices for their, they have like users that use low-end devices to use their products, right? So the opportunity in this is that it has been able to create a revolution in how people communicate their things, right? Using motion graphics and graphics elements and making things much more coordinated towards how other people and users experience their platforms.
But how do all of this meet the motion designing, the animation? How do they meet in the ICT space?
Yeah, so where motion design and product design intersects in the ICT spaces, it has been able to create opportunities for citizens here, right? It's been able to, it's been able to be like an avenue where people learn this skill, and develop into new skills, like where they can use it and develop into a profitable skill for themselves, right?
All right, so what about you? You did say that what you need, I think, first of all, is the interest, and then you need a computer. But the
Yeah.
enlightenment, do you know where people can get enlightened? Um, and also, when we talk about animation and all of that, it is beyond entertainment at this point.
Yeah, it is. So animation has gone beyond just entertainment and as a media arsenal. So people use it into tech. For example, the U-Lesson product, right? It is a technological product that, that teaches through the use of animations and user experience for kids. I don't know if you get me with that.
Yeah, yeah, I
So
get you.
technology
Please
has
tell
been
me.
used into, yeah, technology has been used into product design. I mean, use of product design and motion graphics can be in technology, in learning, can be in employment. It could, we've seen it even in vast and other applications across different industries.
So talking about the one in education, I mean, because I believe when you
Yeah.
talk about animation, it's an interesting way to get the attention of the young ones. You have a message, you want to teach them something. But I'm wondering how it works. Do schools employ the services of animators or motion designers, or is it on a broader scale? How does it work, really?
Yeah, so the use of motion design and, animation with intersection of product design can be used in education. And I'm going to give you a very good example. We know sometimes educating kids can feel complex, right? And there is need for them to digest it in little bits, right? So use of motion design and animation, it's a very good way to communicate complex ideas into smaller bits of simpler informations, right? Which is going to make learning easy and very convenient for young ones, even for those that are not interested in learning. So that's like a very good way it can be used in education.
So what about those who want to go into this, assuming there's a young boy or a young lady or a young man who's watching
Yeah.
this program now? You had said that, what you need first, of course, is the interests. And then you also talked about you have to own a computer. How can you advise such a young person to wants to be a designer and animator? Where do they start from? What should they look out for?
Yeah, so for anybody looking to get started into uh, tech as a product designer, as a motion designer, I would first advise, you take the due diligence to do your personal learning, right? You could always find a lot of resources, you could always find a lot of tutorials, but if you don't find time to devote to learning and knowing what this is about, you oftentimes see yourself, dropping off or losing interest at the end, right? So I would say you take your time to look at what it is and understand what it is. There are platforms like free courses on YouTube, right, where you can get bits of these informations. And there are like a lot of motion and product design schools in Nigeria where you could go in and, learn these things and be very good at it in a period of 6 to 1 year, right? Depending on how much you're able to devote your time into it. So for resources, I would say you start off with using free content like YouTube and follow. I mean, you need to, since it's your new interest, you're trying to develop the skill with, I advise you to follow people on social media, people that are doing it well enough in Nigeria. Follow them, look at their thought process, look at their case studies, and look how you can integrate and learn from them. Feel free to comment on other people's creators' work and ask for their process to getting things done. So you learn by just getting started eventually, right? You can't just be
Yeah,
on your own and say you want to learn.
just go
Just
out
start
there.
and you'll figure it out.
just go out there and start it and you figure it out. Well, that's not from me.
Yeah.
But what do you see as a trend in 2025? The AI, technology, ICT space is really busy.
Yeah.
Like you blink and you miss. That's what has happened with DeepSync. What do you see as a trend this year?
Yeah, so for this year, I feel like there's going to be like a technical trend in how people use motion design on their websites, right? There's going to be a new trend of say less with words, but a lot with visuals. In terms of there are going to be micro interactions, there are going to be uh, responsive websites where you know they are able to integrate sound into product design. They are going to integrate motion, micro interactions, and you know a lot of lofty animations, right? And you can get this done with tools like Rave. I mean, it's going to be like a very brilliant year with you know use of colors more too. So I really believe this year is going to be a very good year where we're going to get to see how motion is being used into product design.
All right.
It's something everybody should look forward to, actually.
All right, we'll be looking out for that. Oyinloluwa Adedoyin, product and motion designer. Thank you for sharing your time and perspective with us.
Thank you.